ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा ओम गणपते नमः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमः शिवाय श्री हनुमते नमः श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 28th of April 2025. I want to offer my Anantakoti Namaskar, Danvat Pranam to all the great sages, all the great saints, all the great devotees, bhaktas, muktas, mumukshus throughout the world present today, yet to come in the future, who have come in the past, and to the one supreme Param Tattva, Parabrahma, that ultimate reality that is present everywhere. With that prarthana and bhavana, we are continuing to examine Shri VIVEKCHUDAMANI, verse number 77. Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya Ji is explaining to us through Krupa, as he is an incarnation of Bhagwan Shankar, what is the science and the spirituality behind Advaitic state. The realization of the Atma Tattva, that is our goal, to realize we are beyond the entanglements of the waking dream, deep sleep state, beyond the limitations of the three gunas of Maya, and also not stuck within the world experience. This idea is what is called Jivan Mukti. Now, this is our goal. So those who are wanting that, for example, this person, Sachin here, if I really want that, then I'm a mumukshu. So a mumukshu is one who wants that realization. Okay, so along those lines, we are covering basic concepts related to verse number 77. It's all the same truth. It's just a matter of how it is expressed. So today I want to talk about something called Mananam as Shruti-Anugrahita-Tarka. I'll explain this all carefully. Manan is reflection. So Manan primarily involves the application of yukti and tarka. There's three words here. Mananam or manan. The second word is yukti. And the third word is tarka. Yukti means reasoning. So for example, I'm sitting here right now. I can reason using my buddhi through guidance of sages and gurus that the world is ultimately just unreal. That the Jagrata Avastha is unreal. I can reason it. That is called yukti. I can also reason that my internal fluctuations inside can be stabilized. Yes, through reasoning, I can be convinced. A conviction can come that I am actually consciousness. That is a certain conviction. That is called Atmanishta. That is a conviction. Nishta means conviction. This conviction comes about through yukti. And it also comes about through what is called tarka. In Sanskrit, the word tarka means logical argumentation or dialectic. So it's like, there's people who say only material world exists. That is also a type of logical tarka. Only material, realism. That this is just prakrut reality, empiricism in philosophy. There's no Atma, there's no Brahman, there's no God, there's no soul, there's no Punarjanma, kuch nahi hai, just only this material world. Okay. That is also a type of logical argumentation, and there's logic behind that too. Again, in my own humble interpretation, they're seeing a slice of reality. They haven't gone further enough. So, tarka is used in every aspect of life. Tarka means logical argumentation. We use it all the time. That's our buddhi's capacity. Our buddhi, our intelligence has capacity for both yukti and tarka. Dono baat dhyan mein rakhna. Yukti is reasoning. Reasoning out certain problems, certain reality to figure out what is the actual answer. That is called yukti. Now, Shankaracharya Ji emphasizes that this reasoning must be Shruti Shruti Anugrahit Tarka. I'll explain what this means. We can always have all kinds of, reasoning and doubts and whatnot. But great masters like Shankaracharya Ji, they have always fallen back to the Shruti, to the actual versus the Sanskrit that was heard by the great sages in the past, and that is called Shruti. So that Shruti, meaning that which is heard, over thousands of years, it is based on those writings, based on those ideas, that the tarka, that the reasoning should continue. Reasoning that is supported by and does not contradict the Shastra, the scriptures. For example, let's take the Gita chapter 15 as an example, right? Bhagavad Gita chapter 15 talks about Bhagwan Purushottama Yoga, and all the Brahmand that are underneath that, and all the upside down tree, and it has this massive description, this analogy of where the Vedas are, what the whole reality looks like. Okay, so if I'm going to comment on that, or if I'm going to have logical reasoning to explain that, or to even think about it in terms of argumentation, dialectic, reasoning, yukti and tarka, I would have to accept that the words of Sri Krishna in chapter 15 are correct, that they are true. That is of Shraddha, of course. So Gita, for example, is a combination of all of the thousands of scriptures that came before the Bhagavad Gita. So Shruti-Anugrahita-Tarka means that if I am going to do a commentary on chapter 15 of the Gita, then that commentary has to be supported by what is written in the Gita, as well as the supporting background behind it. If I'm trying to just discover what is the universe by itself without the scriptures or the Atman or Paramatma or anything like that, independently, you can try that also. Yes. Leave all the scriptures aside. Sit in nature and ask yourself, who am I? That's also an approach. You can try it. Try it for many months and see what happens. And you wind up pretty much getting stuck in the mental space. That's all that'll happen. You will not be able to come out of the mental space that easily. And then the world outside, the senses, the experiences of the senses, and they keep coming and going, and that's all that will happen. Unless you're a very evolved being, that's all that will be stuck right there. So that is why the Shruti or the scriptures or the mantras are necessary to bridge the mind to the higher consciousness. You need a bridge. You see, so this is what is called Shruti-Anugrahita-Tarka. It's like this. To take a chemistry laboratory, I mentioned this before. I could sit just outside on a beach, let's say. Let's just say I'm sitting on a beach with a beach lawn chair. Is it not true that physics and chemistry and biology are all operating there? All the principles, astronomy, cosmic rays, so many things that we talk about are all there. Every human being has a physiological system. Everything is there. But if I have never studied that, even though it is there, I'm not aware of it. All I know is what I see through my senses. I don't know about the forces at play, the physics forces at play in the way the ocean works, or in the way that the sunlight beams. I don't know any of that. So I need to go to a university where there is bona fide knowledge that can teach me what is going on there, and then I can go back to the beach and say, oh my God, there's this type of motion, this type of wave, and this type of wavelength, and this type, all that kind of knowledge about physics and motion and chemistry and the way chemicals combine and the oceanic composite and the animals within it. How do I know all that? I have to go to somewhere to make a connection. That is what is meant by Guru. So similarly, yes, we can sit in nature and say, Aham Brahmasmi. Or not even say that. Just sit in nature. And then what? Okay, the nature is there. I'm there. The breath is there. Mind is there. That's all. And it will just remain like that mostly. I can try to do something with it. Just imagine if I never studied biology, chemistry, physics, I'm studying in nature. I said, I want to discover the principles of biology, chemistry, and physics. Can I do it? How much I'll discover? How much one person can discover? Maybe a little bit. Or is it better for me to go to University of Delaware or University of Pennsylvania and sit for 4 or 5 years and study these subjects? 4 बरस में कितना ज्ञान आ सकता है? It's like that. It's exactly like that. This is the analogy. The scriptures, meaning Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishads, and then the commentaries afterwards. This is called Prastantrayi. This is our base. Vedanta ka base yahi hai. These 3 scriptures. Brahma Sutra are 555. Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses. And 108 Upanishads, out of that 10 major Upanishads. Right? This is the base. Now from this, Shankaracharya ji wrote commentaries. Shankaracharya ji, Ramanujacharya ji, Madhvacharya ji. Then Nimbarkacharya ji, Vallabhacharya ji, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Sajanand Swami Maharaj, जिसको भगवान स्वामीनारायण कहते हैं, उन्होंने भी इस पर his reflections on this in another light called Panchbhed. So these are all acharyas that have all talked about the same 3 canons. They're called the Prasthan Trayi. So when we are students of Vedanta, and particularly like VIVEKCHUDAMANI, all of this massive knowledge is combined into one place. And it is then expounded, like going to a university, sitting in a class with a biology 101 textbook. So much whole overview of biology is there. Rather than sitting in nature and going to the mountains and plants and trying to figure out the principles of biology. How much you can figure out. The thousands of years of research has already been done. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. This is what Shankaracharya ji is saying when he is talking about Shruti-Anugrahita-Tarka. That means Tarka meaning our own thinking and reasoning, but go based on what has already been discovered. Then on that basis go from there. The time-tested principles and ideas that have come about for thousands of years, like in VIVEKCHUDAMANI, in the Gita, Yoga Sutras, etc. These are time-tested ideas, that they are correct, that they have validity, and then you can analyze them and try to understand them and whatnot. That is the right approach to take. This, again, it's a matter of Shraddha to some extent. So for example, as I mentioned yesterday also, when we take the Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses. Do we, who are followers in Sanatana Dharma, do we really believe that the Gita is 100% correct? Have we even gone through the Gita? How many people in this Hindu community, Sanatana Dharma community, have actually studied the Gita? How many people even have the Gita at home? How many people are actually doing puja of the Gita? This is different. This is how we can appreciate and expand our connection to that divine knowledge. We have to start somewhere. If I say I'm sitting in the biology class, but I'm not going to open the biology book, I'm not going to listen to anything, put headphones on, put big Bose headphones on, not listen to anything, nothing goes inside the brain. It's like that. So this is the point. That when we are doing abhyasam means to study. Abhyas is a big thing. It's not a small thing, but we have to start somewhere. And this is the point. So every day what we're doing here is to present one aspect or after another of Advaita Vedanta. Why? Because in today's world, that is the one system of Vedanta that is directly understandable to anybody. The other systems come after that. They're also correct. Nobody's wrong in this. But to realize the functions of the intellect, the functions of the instruments given, the upadhis, as we were mentioning yesterday, how they are to be retuned to realize the Atma. This is the spiritual technology. It's like think of it this way, like the microscope, right? Microscope and telescope. We have the tuning that is we used to use. I don't know if they have those microscopes now, but at that time when we were in science class, you would have to see the bacteria cells and gram stain negative and all that kind of stuff. You can stain the bacteria. You have to tune the microscope so you can see it. It's a tuning through the lenses. So you can see actually the bacteria cell. It's like that. Our tuning of our eyes, of our ears, of our buddhi, of our intellect, of our senses, to retune so that the frequency of the antakarana resonates with the Brahman, with Brahman. So it resonates in such a way so that we realize I am Atma Tattva. Atma Tattvam Shodhyami Masvaha. This is that is when we do the Havan, we do this one mantra, that the Atma Tattva is to be realized. The reason we don't realize it is because of the Jivatma getting stuck inside the world experience. As I mentioned before, it is called Vishwabhimani. Vishwa ka abhiman hai jeev ka, Vishwa satya hai. This is discussed amazingly in Sarangpur number 6 Vachanamrut. Bhagwan Swaminarayan. Kya amazing baat hai sab, and then I'll find the actual Vedantic references for that in some of the other recordings. But the point is, iska abhiman. When we think about abhimani purush, we think of egotistical person. Wo to hai hi, but that's something that is still very superficial compared to a much deeper level abhiman. That is called Vishwabhimani. So Vishwabhimani means that in the Jagrat avastha, ye avastha satya hai, ye avastha is, I am taking it as absolutely real, that this is true, this is real, and this is I'm just rolling around in that as if it is the whole and soul. In the Jagrat avastha, that is called the Jivatma functioning as Vishwabhimani. Think about this idea. Ye kya idea hai? What is written inside our Shastras? At what level these sages have written? I can guarantee you this statement about this Jivatma thinking that the Jagrat Avastha is Vishwa, if a person is having Abhiman of the Avastha, that is not there in any psychology or neurology text. No way. Vedanta is billions of times ahead of all of the current research in neurology, psychology, in philosophy and everything. It is billions of times ahead, not even millions. These statements, and this is what the rishis realized. Okay, imagine living in the waking state, and going out of the abhiman of the waking state. That is a Jivan Mukta. इसको महासंत कहते हैं, इसको ब्राह्मी स्थिति कहते हैं, इसको परम स्थिति कहते हैं. ये कोई ordinary मानव नहीं. That is a person who has realized the Brahman while the body is living, like Guru Dattatreya, like Kapil Dev Bhagwan. These are extraordinary beings who have awakened out of the Jagrat Avastha into the Turiya Avastha, into the highest realization. And that is a possibility. That is what Vedanta is all about. It is reaching one's full potential. Let me just close with this point. We always say in life, reach your full potential. But what is that full potential? Do we know what that is even? You see, this is where Shankaracharya Ji is telling us, by grace, that your full potential is, you are Brahman. Realize that reality. Don't be stuck inside these small experiences of life. They're there. They just come and go like waves on the ocean. How much importance does a wave on the ocean have? It has some importance, and then it dies down. Every human being is a wave on the ocean. Every experience in the Jagrat Avastha is only a wave on the ocean. The millions of people that have gone in the past are waves in the ocean. They have come and gone. Every single being, every single body is coming into this world, and it is gone within some period of time. It is only an urmi. There are 6 urmis also. You see, so these are the bodies are functioning through the 6 urmis. So advanced Vedantic Gyan hai. And when we have that vision, then we awaken into Brahman with Jnana and Vairagya completely established. Jnana and Vairagya are established, solid establishment. Then you can fly. It's like an airplane that is so properly built. The 2 wings are exactly where they should be. Now it takes off, and then it can reach the heights of 40,000-50,000 feet. It's like that. If we want to reach the height of Brahma Vidya, Jnana and Vairagya have to be absolutely solid. Otherwise, can you imagine if a wing is broken a little bit and plane tries to take off? First of all, it will not be able to take off. And if it does take off, it might crash also. It's like that. So keep these analogies in mind. We'll continue on this further. Today's concept very quickly was Shruti-Anugrahita-Tarka. And what is the practical application? Shraddha. Bhagavad Gita, stay with the Gita. Gita Param Satya Tattva hai. This is the idea that every one of us needs to keep in mind. That is the foundation of the entire Vedanta. So with that, we will continue forward tomorrow. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurame Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Divilingaya Namaha, Urdhvalingaya Namaha, Anandalingaya Namaha, Dvadash Jyotirlingaya Namo Namaha. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundaya Viche. Om Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu.